Chapter 1, Crop Production and Management. Do you know why do we need food? We need food because it gives us energy to grow as well as repair and replace damaged and worn out tissues. In previous classes we have learnt that all living things required food for survival. All plants make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Animals including humans cannot make their own food. So, where do animals get their food from? But, first of all, why do we have to eat food? You have learned that energy is required for carrying out various body functions, such as respiration, digestion and excretion. The energy is obtained from food. We get our food from plants, or animals, or both. In order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management and is necessary. India is predominantly an agricultural country. Agricultural is the mainstay of our country and economy. Plants are the major source of food. It becomes necessary to increase the production of crops to meet the food requirement of our population. Farmers cultivate various food crops like cereals, vegetables and fruits for their own use and also for profit on the basis of products which are obtained. The crops are classified as cereals, pulses, oil crops, fiber crops and so on. Various crops require different temperature and climatic conditions for their growth and completion of their life cycle, etc. On the basis of seasonal condition and the time of growth, there are some crop seasons in our country which are I. Kharif crops. These crops are sown in rainy season in all over India. The rainy season in India is generally start from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, and are Kharif crops. 2. Rabi crops. These crops are grown in the winter season, October to March. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. 3. Zaid crops. These crops between March to June. Example: muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber and other vegetables. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places. Basic practices of crop production. Many activities undertaken by the farmers over a period of time during cultivation of crops, same as a gardener or you grow ornamental plants in your house by carrying out activities. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices, which are listed below. I. Preparation of soil. 2. Sowing. 3. Adding manure and fertilizers. Soil replenishment. 4. Irrigation, supply of water. V. Protecting from weeds. Y. Harvesting. 7. Storage. Preparation of soil. Soil is the natural medium for plants to grow. Soil is prepared for cultivation by plowing it manually or by using a wooden or iron plow. Tilling or plowing loosens up the soil so that it is well and allows the roots to breathe easily. Loosening the soil also aids the growth of soil organisms such as earthworms, millipedes, bacteria and fungi. Earthworms are known as farmers' friends. Their wastes and the decay of dead organisms also help in manuring the soil. You have already known that the basic components of soil are minerals, organic matter, water and air. The type oil soil consciously approximately 45% minerals, 5% organic matter, 20 to 30% water, and 20 to 30% air. Soil organisms decompose the dead plants and animals by which various nutrients of dead organism are released back to the soil. As you know that soil contains many layers. The top soil of earth supports the growth of plants. The human makes the top soil soft, porous to hold enough air and water. In this layer, the seeds germinate and roots of the plants grow. Many living organisms like earthworms, millipedes, and centipedes, bacteria and fungi are found in this layer of soil. Top soil is so important because it contains all the nutrients that plants need to survival. Thus turning and loosening of soil is very important for crops cultivation. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plowing. The plowed field may have big clumps of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes, manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of manure with soil. The soil is watered before sowing. Agricultural implements. Field is prepared before sowing the seeds. This is done with the help of various tools. Plow, hoe and cultivators are the main tools used for this purpose. Plow, it is a large farming implement. This is made of wood and drawn by a pair of bulls. It is used for initial cultivation to loosen or turn the soil in preparation for sowing seed. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called a plow shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bulls' necks. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plow. Wooden plow is drawn by oxen and it has wedge-shaped blocks of wood that penetrate the soil to make the furrows. Nowadays the wooden plow is not in use. It is replaced by iron plow. Hoe. Hoe is used for loosening the soil as well as for removing weeds. It is simple tool. It consists of a long rod of wood or iron with a bent plate of iron fixed at one of its ends. It acts as knife. It is also driven by animals. Cultivator. It is a mechanical implement for breading up the soil and uprolling weeds. These days, in large fields and gardens, plowing is done by cultivators driven by tractors. It saves time and labor. Sowing seeds used for sowing should be of good quality, healthy and free of infection. Mostly farmers prefer to use seeds which give high yield. If you plant bad seeds, they won't grow well. It can spread disease to others' plants. To find out if the seeds are still able to grow, pour seeds into a container full of water and allow them to sit opening. The seeds that are still germinate will risk to the bottom of the container, which the bad seeds will remain floating on top. You must be prepared about the downing looks. Before sowing, it is important to know which kind of tools are used for sown. Traditional tool. The tool, which is used for traditional method of sowing, is a funnel shaped. The seeds are filled into the funnel. Then they passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. Seed drill. Now, seed drill is used for sowing the seeds. In seed drill, an iron tube with a funnel is placed at the top. It is attached at the back of a tractor. The drill deposits seeds at the regular intervals. This ensures more accurate sowing of seeds. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. For sowing seeds, the must be keep in need proper spacing of the seeds must be ensured. This is because overcrowding of the seeds may result in the shortage of nutrients, air, sunlight, water and can kill seedlings. To prevent overcrowding, they have to be removed. Adding manure and fertilizers. Manures are the substances which are added to the soil. These are rich in nutrients for the healthy growth of plants. Manures increase the fertility of soil. Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plants. In certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. The field is never left uncultivated or fallow. Imagine what happens to the nutrients. Continuous plantation of crops in field makes the soil poor in certain nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. When a farmer continues to grow crop one after the other, then all nutrients available in the soil reduce and the crop yield decreases automatically. Therefore, farmers have to add some waste matter from animals that is put on the ground in order to make plants grow better. This process is called manuring. As you already know about vermicomposting, manure are the organic substances obtained by the decomposition of plant and animal wastes. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learnt about vermicomposting in class Virgin Islands. What do you observe after 7 days? You will find that the growth of seedling in the 3 glasses is different. You will also observe which glass was the growth faster. Note down in which glass it is better than other. Fertilizers are chemical substances which are produced in factories. These are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Another way of enriching the soil with nutrients is by adding fertilizers. Fertilizers are the inorganic compounds containing nutrients pouches nitrogen, potassium and phosphoric. They are made in factories. Different fertilizers are used for different plants according to their requirement. A buoy of fertilizer may be marked NPK, UN, etc. NPK means that the fertilizer bag contains nitrogen, phosphorus, while CAN means calcium, ammonium and nitrate. Farmers find fertilizers better than mummers as fertilizers are easy to store and use. Though use of fertilizers has brought about significant in the yield of crops such as wheat, maize and rice, the continuous use has made soil less. They increase the water holding capacity of the soil. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with nutrients. Crop rotation is another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients. It is the practice of growing a series of dissimilar or different types of crops in the same area in sequenced season. Earlier, farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Farmers are being encouraged to adopt this practice. In the previous classes, we have learnt about rhizobium bacteria. These are present in the nodules of roots of leguminous plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. Advantages of manure: the organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it increases the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, by which exchange of gases becomes easy. It increases the number of friendly phytoplankton microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. Irrigation water is most important for all living things. Without water, there is no growth and development in plants. Plants contain 90% water. When roots absorb water, they also absorb minerals and fertilizers. Germination of seed does not take place in dry conditions. Nutrients dissolved in water are transported to each part of the plant. Water also protects the crop from both frost and hot air currents. To maintain the moisture of the soil for healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. Water is a very input for crop production. Supplying of water to the crop plants form the wells, canals, or water reservoir is known as. For the survival and proper development of crops plants, water is necessary. Each crop needs specific quantity of water at various stages of growth and fruiting. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from I. crop to crop, 2. soil to soil, and 3. season to season. In summer season, frequency of watering is more due to the evaporation of water from the soil and leaves. Sources of irrigation: there are different sources of water for irrigation. They are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, dams, rivers, canals, etc. Traditional methods of irrigation: there are different methods to lift water from wells, tube wells and lakes. Traditional irrigation methods can be 2 types. Ones that use cattle and human labor. They are cheaper but less efficient. These include mode, pulley system, chain pump, dhekli, rahat, etc. Pumps are commonly used for lifting water. Diesel, biogas, electricity and solar energy is used to run these pumps. Modern methods of irrigation: modern methods are best for saving water. 2 main irrigation methods in use today are I. sprinkler system, 2. drip system. I. sprinkler system Sprinkler system is used in those areas where sufficient water is not available. It is also useful where land is uneven. It has perpendicular pipes, with rotating nozzles on top, joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals. When water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump, it escapes from the rotating nozzles. It gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. Sprinkler is very useful for lawns, coffee plantation and several other crops. 2. Drip system. Drip system is used in those regions where availability of water is poor. In this system, there is no wastage of water at all. Water falls drop by drop directly near the root of the crop. So, it is called drip system. It is the best technique for watering fruit plants, gardens and trees. Protection from weeds. Sometimes, other plants grow along with wheat plants in the field. These plants grow naturally when undesirable plants that grow naturally along with the crop are called weeds. All plants other than crops are called weeds. These are unwanted, uncultivated plants or pests which grow along with cultivated plants on their own. They are a threat to commercial crops as they compete for sunlight, air, nutrients and water. In comparison to cultivated crop, the seeds of weeds germinate easily. These seedlings grow faster, they flower early, their seed production begins after a short period of growth and they produce large number of seeds. In fact, weeds lake up all the nutrients and reduce the growth of crops. They also spread diseases to the cultivated plants as they become hosts to many insects and microorganisms. Therefore, weeds must be removed from the fields. The process of removing weeds from the fields is known as weeding. Farmers remove weeds by many ways. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. The best time for the removal of weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. The manual removal includes physical removal of weeds by uprooting or cutting them close to the ground, from time to time. This is done with the help of a khurpi. A seed drill, figure 1.2b, is also used to uproot weeds. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals, called weedicides, like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds. They do not damage the crops. The weedicides are diluted with water to the extent required and sprayed in the fields with a sprayer, figure 1.6. The best time to remove weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. Weedicides are diluted with water and sprayed in the fields. Spraying of weedicides may affect the health of farmers, so they should use these chemicals very carefully. They should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals. 2. Protection. Gram pests. Crops are exposed to many factors, such as stray animals, birds and insects. Animals and birds can be scared away by beating of drums and finding scarecrows in the field. However, there are some organisms especially attack and damage the crops. These organisms are known as pests. They may include rats, locusts, weevils, larval stages of some insects and termites. Chemicals are sprayed on the crops to kill such pests. These chemicals are known as pesticides. Spraying is done manually or by a small aircraft. These chemicals stick to fruits and vegetables, and are also absorbed by plants. These four, became a part of the food chain. It is for this reason that the use of the pesticides must be kept to the bare minimum. Harvesting. Harvesting is the process of gathering a ripe crop from the fields. Harvesting is the most labor-intensive activity of the growing season. Cutting of crop after it matures is called harvesting. In India, many festivals are associated with harvesting such as Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Diwali, Nabanga, and Bihu. Cereal crops usually take 3 to 4 months to mature. Figure 1.7. Sickle. Harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by a machine called harvester. In the harvested crop, The grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. This is carried out with the help of a machine called combine, which is in fact a harvester as well as a thresher. Farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. Storage grains are stored property. Storage of grains is an important task. Before storage grains, they are dried in the sun to reduce their moisture. At large scales, they are kept in silos and granaries. At small scale are stored in jute bags or metallic bins. Dried leaves are used at home to protect food grains. In big godowns, chemical treatment are done to protect the quantities of grains. Precautions should be taken during storage of grains. Grains should be dried properly or they might rot easily. They should be stored in completely dry gunny bags. The bags should be kept in a place which is completely moisture-free. Storage areas should be well ventilated. In large godowns, care should be taken that chemicals used to repel or kill insects and rats do not contaminate food grains. Food from animals after completing the stable, you must have seen that, like plants, animals also provide us with different kinds of food. When animals are reared at a large scale to obtain food from them, it is called animal husbandry. Animal husbandry includes taking care of animals, breeding them and domesticating them for different purposes such as meat, wool, milk, eggs, honey, etc. Types of animal husbandry popular in India include beekeeping or apiculture, cattle farming, dairy farming, fish farming, sheep farming, poultry farming.